Gymnasium number 1 presents. What do you know about Novogrudok? Do you know that? Number 1. The highest point of Grodno region, 323 meters, is in Novogrudok. Tourists are really surprised when they see Novogrudok hills going up and down. It's like going on a roller coaster. Number 2. Do you know that being located on the hills, Novogrudok has a low air temperature in winter months, several degrees lower than in the neighboring cities and villages, so do not forget warm clothes. Number 3. Do you know that one of the clearest lakes in Europe, Lake Svitis, is situated not far from Novogrudok? And what is more, Lake Svitis is famous for relic plants and seaweed similar to those in Lake Java and in some other lakes of Poland and Scandinavia. Number 4. Do you know that Novogrudok, together with Polotsk, is a cradle of Belarusian statehood? Novogrudok was the capital of one of the largest and most powerful kingdoms in Europe, the Grand Duchy of Lithuania. Number 5. Do you know that Novogrudok castle was one of the most powerful in the Belarusian lands and the only castle that had 7 towers? Number 6. Do you know that Archangel Michael, depicted on the coat of arms, is the only black angel in Christianity? An angel has to be white. Number 7. Many famous people were born in Novogrudok, among them famous historians of the Grand Duchy of Lithuania, who depicted the history of Novogrudok in chronicles. Their names are Fyodor Yevashovsky and Solomon Rysinsky. A well-known poet, Adam Mickiewicz, was born in Novogrudok and got his education here. Like Mickiewicz, Jan Chichot was interested in local legends and folklore. Thanks to him we have our cultural heritage. Novogrudok is the birthplace of such great scientists like Ignat Domeyko, the national hero of Chile, who proved that people are more powerful than nature and can adjust to any conditions. Boris Kidd, the man who worked out the rocket fuel and made the space exploration possible. Josep Drozdovich, whose paintings show not only the beauty of Novogrudok, but depict Novogrodok sky with space phenomena, lived and worked in Novogrudok. We would never know about them if one more person from Novogrudok wasn't born. His name is Vincent Karatynsky, a translator and biographer, a talented writer. By the way, do you know that the first Belarusian art photographer, Jan Bulgak, was born in Novogrudok as well? Number 8. Do you know that 70% of buildings in Novogrudok are yellow? We do not notice that, but tourists say. And that's not all. The list can be continued.
We are pretty sure that you are surprised. Let's continue discovering Novogrudok. Have you ever seen the fantastic place where Novogrudok is? Its blue lakes, green hills and fantastic views from them. Adam Mickiewicz once compared the hills and meadows of Novogrudok and Switzerland. The hills are so high that you can see the surroundings for many kilometers. When my dog saw it, he decided to build a castle here and make Novogrudok a capital city. So the history of our town began. It was long ago, but we still remember our history, and we still remember what my dog did for our town. Unfortunately, Novogrudok was such a rich and powerful town that many invaders wanted to seize it. So after some wars, the castle was ruined, and nowadays only the ruins are preserved. They are symbols of Novogrudok. Besides the castle, you can see some other great examples of architecture. Lubcha Castle, Shorty Palace Complex, Transfiguration Roman Catholic Church, sometimes called Vanya Church, where Michaela and Sophia got married. You can see there the Orthodox Church of St. Boris and Gleb, the Cathedral of St. Nicholas, St. Michael Roman Catholic Church, and Amont.
Mindog was not the only one who liked the beauty of Novogrudok. Adam Mickiewicz, a famous poet who was born in Novogrudok and whose childhood was spent here, admired its beauty in his literary works. Nowadays, there is a house museum of Adam Mickiewicz and several monuments to the poet here. The House Museum of Adam Mickiewicz was opened in September 1938. The museum was bombed during the Great Patriotic War and was fully reconstructed only in 1991. There is a wing, a barn, a well and an arbor near the museum. The collection of the museum contains about 8,000 exhibits, including various materials about Adam Mickiewicz's family, documents, portraits of parents and brothers, personal things, archaeological findings, books of the 18th century, and many other things. Anyone can wander around Mickiewicz's estate and enjoy a peaceful atmosphere of the picturesque place. Mickiewicz used to glorify Novogrudok and its land in his poems, but there were a lot of artists who understood that such beauty can't be totally expressed with words. That's why there are hundreds of paintings depicting Novogrudok. The most famous ones are painted by Vikentin Mukovsky, Napoleon Oda, our modern artist Kestus Kachan, whose gallery was opened not long ago. Even Belarusian Leonardo da Vinci is a Drozdovich, who was inspired by the town. Due to his ethnographic works, we know how our sites looked like and the way common people lived many centuries ago. Novogrudok became famous thanks to such talented scientists like Boris Kidd, the man who worked out the rocket fuel and made the space exploration possible. For 25 years he worked in the American Space Research Program. Kidd took part in all American space research projects, including mathematical support of the mission to the moon. Kidd is a long-standing member of the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, an honorary member of German Astronautics Society, a member of the International Astronautics Academy in Paris, honorary doctorate of science in Hrodna State University, and Novogrudok's honorable resident.
Ignat Dameyko, the national hero of Chile, who proved that people are more powerful than nature and can adjust to any conditions. He left a noticeable trace in various fields of human knowledge: mineralogy and geology, physics, chemistry and metallurgy, geography and ethnography, botany and zoology.
With such talented people, Novogrudok soon became one of the most prosperous trading towns. At the beginning of the 20th century, it was famous for being a great marketplace and trading center. There were lots of craftsmen and fairs were held every week. But soon the war began, and Novogrudok was occupied by German troops. At that time, the population of Novogrudok was 20,000, of which about half were Jewish. During a series of actions in 1941, the Germans killed all but 550 of the about 10,000 Jews. The first mass murder of Novogrudok's Jews occurred in December 1941. Those not killed were sent into slave labor, Novogrudok ghetto. Partisan resistance immediately began. The Belsky partisans, made of Jewish volunteers, operated in the region. It was the first group of partisans made of escaped Jews. Their fame was so inspiring that the whole world began to admire them. Three brothers rescued lives of thousands of people and inspired millions never to give up. They gave hope to the inmates of Novogrudok ghetto, who decided to dig up an underground tunnel, the only way to survive. Due to a great sacrifice, some managed to escape and join the partisans. Jewish people suffered greatly during the war, and their history of resistance should be remembered. That's why there is a museum of Jewish resistance in Novogrudok. We are really proud that we were the first Belarusian town to have such a museum.
During the war, more than 45,000 people were killed in the city and in the surrounding area, and over 60% of housing was destroyed. The reconstruction began. Novogrudok has risen out of the ashes. After the war, many enterprises appeared in Novogrudok. A 7-factory Belgrade is famous for creating business suits and school uniform. These days, the factory sells their goods even in France. Our metal plant is one of the biggest and most powerful works in Belarus. They produce a wide range of goods, starting from rags to street decorations. Novogrudok gas plant is a leading plant not only in Belarus, but also in Russian and Commonwealth of Independent States. They produce fire extinguishers, equipment for cars and vehicles, gas meters, gas tanks, and many other useful things. I think you should know that Novogrudok is famous for its tasty food. Nowadays, it's hardly possible to imagine the town without its brands. Baker Khlebnov, pastry and bread, Leo fish and seafood, dairy products produced at Novogrudok gifts. So try them one day, they worth it.
Do you know that Novogrudok is an eco-friendly town? A lot is done to save the environment here. We use green energy, collect rubbish separately, regularly have energy-saving and eco-days. And we are proud that there is a waste management a certain plant in our district. That's so great that we can solve environmental problems of our nature place together. When tourists approach Novogrudok, they see our wind power generators. The town is surrounded by them. There are 13 of them. One of them is the highest and the most powerful in the whole Belarus.
Novogrudok is famous for its shopping opportunities. There are many shops and shopping centers here that everyone can find something to their liking. Doing shopping is a tiresome activity. One needs to have some rest and have a meal. Novogrudok can offer its citizens a lot of eating out places, from small cafes and bars to the restaurants with live music.
Present-day Novogrudok is a very cozy and quiet town with picturesque views and greenery. Its narrow streets with ancient architecture and special atmosphere of the past and present coming side by side create an unforgettable impression on its visitors. That's why many people find their inspiration here. As a result, art is everywhere in Novogrudok. The town is decorated with modern sculptures and unusual street art decorations. What is peculiar about them is that they usually are taken from the local legends. Not long ago, the Alley of Lanterns was created in our public garden near the town square. Local enterprises as well as local establishments designed the lanterns representing their companies and advertising local brands. In Novogrudok, even a bus stop can be a real piece of art. What about this fence near the dwarf's house? Isn't it unusual?
Lots of places in Novogrudok are dedicated to a well-known Russian poet, a talented singer, a composer, and an actor Vladimir Vysotsky. His bust was created by Belarusian sculptor Gennady Buralkin and was unveiled on the 11th of November 2012. In 1969, Vladimir Vysotsky spent several months in the village of Litovka near Novogrudok, shooting a film based on a work by Alice Adamovich, Sons Go to Fight. Vladimir Vysotsky did not act in the film, but he wrote some composition for this work. The poet came to the shooting of the film not having drafts of songs. He created all his works there, inspired by the local beauty. The composer walked through Castle Hill, breathed clean air, and admired the local round lakes and green hills. He also wrote several famous songs and even performed his guitar songs for local residents. Many people come to Novogrudok to see the hotel where he used to stay.
But it is not the only tourist attraction. The annual night festivals of medieval culture are held at the walls of Novogrudok Castle. Thousands of tourists come to Novogrudok to enjoy the theatrical shows, medieval music, and certainly the night tournaments. For 2 days, the town lives in a special atmosphere of historical past, and everyone has a chance to take part in different contests and crafts. So, welcome to our festival.
Novogrudok is open to its visitors and its hotels are waiting for the tourists. Those who prefer comfort and want to feel the pace of town life may stay at our modern hotels, situated not far from the town center. Interested in rural peace and countryside beauty can stay at Agro Estates. Active tourists can go camping here and enjoy fishing or hunting. There are many people who come to Novogrudok for recreation to our resort house Svitis, located in a picturesque place around the lake.
There are a lot of facilities for doing sport in Novogrudok. The most popular sports are field and track athletics, ski racing, biathlon, football, Greek-Roman wrestling, horse riding. Every year, competitions are held in different sports for adults and children.
Youth policy is one of the main aims of our local authorities. As you may see, Novogrudok is a child-friendly town, the 10th town in Belarus that can boast of this title. Novogrudok offers varied educational opportunities for all children. There are 6 schools, 8 kindergartens, 2 sports schools, and art school. These schools offer children opportunities to develop their talents and skills in different spheres. There is also a special school for children with serious disorders of speech and mental development, and a social and educational center for children without parents. In our town there are 2 colleges, Novogrudok State Trade and Economic College and Novogrudok State Agriculture College, and a Lyceum, Novogrudok State Agriculture Professional Lyceum. There is a recreational camp Svitis, which is situated near one of the most beautiful Belarusian lakes. Every summer, children from Novogrudok and even other towns and cities of Belarus go there to spend their holidays in the picturesque surroundings.
There are numerous events that are held for children and young people in Novogrudok. On the initiative of the Belarusian Republican Union and Novogrudok Youth Parliament, our park has been renovated and a new educational center has been created. Today, kids of Novogrudok have an opportunity to visit their clubs and societies that are located in one place. Something like a child village was created within the town center. We even have a graffiti wall and graffiti contests among schools. But even in graffiti we depict the beauty of our town and are proud to live in Novogrudok.
Now, let's listen to why children love Novogrudok.
I love Novogrudok because of its rich history and because it's full of opportunities.
The streets of Novogrudok are quiet.
We like Novogrudok history. I love Novogrudok. People are nice here.
I love Novogrudok because it's my native town.
Because my town is very beautiful.
People in our town are hospitable.
We like night festivals.
I love Novogrudok because I was born here and my relatives live here.
There are many beautiful places.
Novogrudok is an active town.
It's a sporty town. It's cool.
As you may see, Novogrudok is a versatile town where everyone can find something to their taste. It's a place where people remember the past, enjoy the present and look into the future with hope and enthusiasm. All you have to do is to come and discover your Novogrudok.